Okay, so hopefully you just listened to St. Anthony Preaches to the Fishes by Gustav Mahler. It's a kind of a fun, entertaining piece. It's in D minor. Turn to page 173 and follow along with me here. Just starts out with a bunch of 5-1 progressions, very simple at first. Now at the bottom of page 173, you see that he goes to the rivers to preach to the fishes. And we have this kind of fishy line, this wiggly shape in the accompaniment, like the fishes swimming in the water. That sort of continues throughout the piece. Okay, so analysis of the bottom here. We got a 1, then we have a C major chord, which is a 7. Then we have a B flat major chord, which is a 6, second inversion. Let's see, a D, F sharp, A, C. And that's another one of those 5-9 chords. This time it's tonicizing G, which is 4. Actually gets to a 2-6. Then we end up going to a 5. Okay, next page. Still in D minor. Here's our 5 chord again. We tonicize that 5 with a secondary leading tone chord. Back to the 5. Now there's our B flat chord again, a 6. And then back to the 5 chord again. We're just kind of circling around the 5 chord. Now we tonicize that 5 chord with a 5 flat 5 7 chord, right? E, G, B flat. E, G sharp, B flat, D. Going to 5 again. Do that twice. That B flat there makes it a flat 5. Okay, back to the 5. We're just kind of circling around that 5 chord. And now he does an unusual thing. G major is a 4. F major is a 3. E flat major is a Neapolitan. And then back to D. So that's an unusual progression. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, Neapolitan 1. Unusual. Okay. Now go down to the bottom of page 174. And we, again, are just doing 1, 5, 1, 5, 1 for quite a while here. Okay, now we go back into this kind of linear progression here. 1 to a 7. Then an F is 3. Okay, 7, 3. Back to the 7, back to the 3. And there's an E flat chord again, so that's the Neapolitan, right? Neapolitan 6th. Then back to the B flat chord, which is 6. Now, what is this? A flat major chord. In the key of D, what would an A flat major chord be? Flat 5? No. Okay, so we might be going somewhere else. This might be some other key. I'm going to look ahead, and it sounds like I'm ending on a half cadence. If you listen to this, half cadence in G minor on that D major chord instead of a D minor chord. So now if I work backwards in that key, that'll help. I tonicize that D chord with a 7 diminished 7. Now what is A flat in the key of G? Neapolitan. Okay, so now it's just a Neapolitan 6 moving to 5. That makes more sense. Okay, go to the next page. We have lots of wiggly motion here, and in this particular passage in the second line here, notice the pitches in this passage are D, E flat, F sharp, G, A, B flat, C sharp, D. Now if you play that scale, it has lots of half steps in it. D to E flat, F sharp to G, A to B flat, C sharp to D. And this is a particular scale that is sometimes known as the Jewish scale. Okay, so that's interesting. So that's why it has sort of that Fiddler on the Roof quality to it. It's sort of a Jewish sounding scale. And of course Mahler was Jewish. Alright, this next passage is unusual. It's unusual, hard to figure out. At the end we end with a half cadence, and it tonicizes that with another one of these 5 9s of 5s. If I'm going too fast, you can pause this and replay it at any time. Alright, so let's try to figure this out enharmonically. If I look at this first chord, E flat, G, B flat, and then it has a C sharp. Yeah, what if we did that C sharp as a D flat? That would make this an E flat 7. That'd be a little simpler. And then we have an A flat C, there's an E flat above there, and then an F sharp. You do that as a G flat. Now that's just an A flat 7. All right, and then that happens several times throughout this passage. Still hard to understand these chords in terms of D or in terms of A, but at least we know they're just dominant 7th chords. Okay, going on. We go to the minor 4, then the 3, then the Neapolitan, then the 1. Another one of those 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 progressions that he uses quite a bit in this piece. Kind of unusual approach to the cadence. And above that we have the fish wiggling in chromatic thirds, and those are just descending by chromatic thirds throughout this whole passage.